All right. I'm coming out here on a serious note. I really don't know how to address it, honestly. I go through Facebook a lot, and I've joined a couple groups from here. And the one group I've joined is When They Walk Away. It's a very, very supportive group. I definitely suggest people do it if they are estranged from their children. Um, it's hard to walk away from your kids. But you need to. You really need to, because you need to move on and you need to quit breaking your heart. Because, look, I'm just going to tell you right now, I am estranged from a lot of people in my family. The only one that removed herself was my daughter. Everybody else I've removed because I went to therapy and I finally decided to stand up for myself. The day that I went to the psychiatrist, and I don't like to put business out here, but people need to know the truth, dude. There's no sense in candy coating it and doing whatever. The day I went to the psychiatrist, now me and my birthing unit have had very, very bad issues. She was not there for me as a mom. She never really wanted me around. There was never no love and affection showed from her or anybody in my family, as a matter of fact. She did and said a lot of things that she really should not have done. We're not all perfect. All parents do the same thing, okay? But I went to the psychiatrist and I was telling her, and I told her, I said, look, I'm not going to get mad at you or blame you for anything. I just want to heal. I just want to heal myself, get closure on some things so I can move on. She proceeds to tell me that I am narcissistic. I never take accountability for anything. I am the problem. I blame everybody else for everything. My sister really didn't want me around. She was just doing it for her. Which, okay, I dig the shit out of fake people. That's amazing. Thank y'all for being fake. See, that's the problem. Y'all are fake and I'm real. And I'm real sick of the way you guys have treated me my whole entire life. So why are you sitting over there going, oh, my daughter, she just won't talk to me? You remember, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And don't you ever compare that to the reason why my daughter don't speak to me, because that's two totally different fucking things. I showed my kids love. I showed my kids attention. But you know what? From being so mentally screwed from my childhood, I suffer from severe PTSD. And when I say severe, it's like up there with fucking soldiers, man. And that's bad. That is bad. And when you go to therapy, it is hard because you feel like you're reliving everything, and it's good. It's good. You got to do it. You got to get it out of your system, and you got to realize it wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. I was a child. So if I'm never taught how to be a good mom or how to do motherly things and not say hurtful shit, I've said the same shit to my kids that was said to me, and at the time, it didn't bother me because I was a totally different person. I hadn't found God. Well, I hadn't let God into my heart. I just wasn't the same person I was, and a lot of things have changed about me, and unfortunately, my daughter won't give me a chance, which that's fine. That is fine. It hurts, but you know what? If that's what she feels is best for her, then that's what I want. And I'm trying not to cry, because I love her so much, and I'm so proud of her for doing something that I did not have the balls to do when I was younger. I'm really proud of her. I just wish, she would acknowledge me. But if she doesn't, that's fine. That's on her. I respect what she wants. So as far as people saying, oh, I didn't talk to my mom for years and years, and then she passed away, and I feel so bad. How can you feel bad for something that you never really had? How? How do you feel bad for something you never really had? Huh? And all these years, I blamed my grandfather for the reason why my mother would not be a mom. And I was always mad at him. I always thought it was because of him. And I always thought my grandma just backed him up just because. Come to find out, the reason why my grandpa, who was psychotic, he did some things that nobody should ever do to anybody. But I always thought my grandma just backed him up because, that's just what you do. They're old school. And come to find out, it was my mother. So, you know, a lot of the ways my grandpa reacted to the shit that she done is now clearer to me of why he did that. Now, some of the things that how he reacted was horrible, and I don't think she should have went through that. I don't hate her. I really don't hate her. I mean, she gave me life. Well, actually, God gave me life, but she was the vessel that brought me here. And I know from the age of birth until 5, she was a good mom. I know that. My dad even said that. But after they got divorced, when I was 5, all hell broke loose. So when everybody's saying, fuck them kids, you need to think about the people, the children who have been hurt by their parents, okay? That's just crazy. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own reasons why they don't talk to people, you know, but at least she knows why I will not mess with her ever again. It's called closure. Closure is a big thing, and I'm sorry to tell you, but, you know, you have to be woman enough, adult enough, grown up enough, whatever. If you can stand on your own ground and say this is how it's going to be, at least tell the person that you don't want shit to do with why. Just tell them why. That's the thing with me. I don't have a problem with my daughter not speaking to me. Really. I mean, she's grown. She's going to do what she wants. I can't force anybody to do what they want. I'm not my grandma in that family. I've never controlled my kids, so that's the problem I don't understand. Was I a little verbally abusive? Yeah, I was. And I'm sure mentally some shit fucked her up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to own it. And there was no excuse for it. I mean, there was so much going on in my head I couldn't deal with it, you know. And kids don't realize what the parents have to deal with and what they do behind closed doors and what they went through and everything. And that's not an excuse. But you know what? You kids need to act like we are human beings. We were kids once. We were fucking... You ought to see how our parents treated us. I'm Gen X, baby. So you have no clue. Y'all have it made compared to how I was treated. Seriously. And any Gen Xer will tell you. Woo, that's why we so tough. That is why we so tough and so determined to not take no shit off nobody. I just want closure. I do. I mean, at least when my son stops talking to me and shit, he tells me why. My daughter, she ain't said shit. Nothing. And that's the part that's wrong. That is the part that's wrong more than anything. More than her not speaking to me or letting me see my grandson that she has. I don't get to see what kind of mom she is. Which I know she's going to be a damn good mom just because of the shit that she went through with me. Seriously. She's totally different than I was. She's not fucked up in the head like I was. She don't have PTSD from her childhood. Her childhood was not fucking horrible, but it was not mentally the way it should have been because I was mentally screwed. That's no excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying you have your issues from what your parents did to you. So what makes you think that we don't have issues from what our parents did to us? That goes both ways. You know? Seriously. Have you kids who have walked out of your parents' life, have you all just sit and thought about anything? Have you thought about what your parents went through as children? Have you? Have you ever thought that some of the things that they went through as a child come over to them and then they pass it to their children? You think that's what I wanted to do? You think I wanted to screw my son's head up? You think I wanted my daughter to never speak to me again? You think I wanted to do that shit? No, I didn't. And I didn't mean to. I didn't do it on purpose. I really didn't. I wish I'd have got therapy a long time ago. I really do. I wish I hadn't waited till I was 50 years old to get therapy, because I have lost so many years of happiness and just self-esteem for myself, thinking that I'm not worth anything because I was always treated like I wasn't nothing. So when you feel like you are nothing, you feel like you have to be with somebody that treats you like you're nothing. And put their hands on you and verbally abuse